This is the same. This is a really nice guitar. I like this. I haven't played it in a long time. It's really dirty. And then I started playing it a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, why am I not using this guitar? Why haven't I used it in a while? You know, I always go to the head feel for, you can't see me, but the head feel though is always my go-to. Wow. Okay. So in the real world, I'm doing them back to back, and I just had this the time. That's weird. I get so many of those spam texts. Hey, how you doing? You know, it sounds familiar, but it's really just a bot trying to get you to interact. It's so strange how all of this technology is being used, and ultimately it just rolls back to, hey, how you doing? And that's supposed to be like some sort of thing. Like, I don't use any of the AI stuff at all. I just don't, and people are like, well, you're missing out. It's like, on what? You being able to do chatting with a computer that doesn't really have, there's no thought, there's nothing behind the eyes, so to speak. I've been in IT in some capacity for like 28 years now. And it's just like more and more, it's the industry is built to just kind of push everybody out and keep like 2 or 3 people constantly getting money, and everybody else is just constantly on their heels, which is just capitalism in a nutshell. But it's just, it makes no sense, it has no meaning, which maybe it never did to begin with, and somehow it's just being played out to everybody now. And like, people are like, AI is this and AI is that, but I've never seen anybody do anything of any use. People will make like little videos of them being like a raccoon jumping into their house, and like they're on the toilet, and like that's about it. And there's videos of, you know, Stephen Hawking doing it on a ramp, doing tricks and stuff like that. It's like, okay, that's what all of this is for. We don't have to pay people anymore. That's the big thing. We can marginalize a completely different type of being, but really, AI doesn't exist, and there aren't humans. Anytime there's anything where any sort of real work has to be done, there's always like a human in the background doing something to make it work. Amazon had these stores where it's all autonomous and this and that, but it turns out they just had somebody, groups of people in India actually making sure that you didn't steal. And that was some sort of a crazy innovation. And I actually thought it was real too. But then they started talking more and more about it, and then it came out that, oh, by the way, it's just folks in India watching you while you shop and make sure you don't steal. So that's probably why I'm drawn to the guitar so much, because if you've ever seen any of my videos, you know that I'm not like any good at this. But I still try it, and there's no, you can fake it, but you get found out real quick. There's no way around that. People will go out of their way to make sure everyone knows that you're faking it. And multiple people have gotten eaten up by that. You'll never see that from me. People will know, oh, he's actually doing that because it sucks. Hey, I'd much rather just be me doing this and toiling away in obscurity than have some sort of a rep as a fake. Everything I do is me. Everything I do is something I myself, for better or worse, and I don't really, I've been doing it long enough now that I don't really have to worry about, people's impressions. And then it's always weird to have like somebody who's actually paying attention start talking, and like, I made a video and the person was like, or at least I think it was a person, because that's another problem. At least I think it was a person saying, well, why didn't you do it this way? And I'm like, yeah, that is a good idea. I just did it this way instead. And it's like, well, sometimes people do have good ideas. Very, very rarely. Or if they do, they rarely share them. Let's put it that way. You can cry about it or whatever, but it is what it is, and I'm not really too worried about it. If you want to leave a comment, terrific. But I'd rather you don't. There's not really any value to people going, ooh. Mm-hmm. Very, very rarely is there. Somebody suggested, why didn't I cook fish a different way? And I'm like, it's a valid point. So I just keep getting mad about it. Think about turning off comments. I keep thinking, ooh, okay. Then turning on comments hurts you in the algorithm, and people are like, why'd you turn off? And then the comment turns into, why'd you turn off the comments? Then you have to explain why you did, and I've made enough videos explaining what I'm doing here that either I'm just here to do what I do, and if you want to come along for the ride, awesome, but that's it. And it's not like, if you keep commenting, that's what's going to keep videos flowing on this channel. Hold on. What's going to keep videos flowing on this channel is me. And me doing stuff like this, taking time out of my day to restring a guitar and actually do it on camera and talk while I'm doing it. So these have ended up being, instead of me like talking about, because the very first time I changed strings on guitar and made a video out of it, it's like 9 years ago now. Somebody said, this is not a good tutorial, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I never said it was a tutorial. And from that moment, I'm like, okay. That was like one of the first times I got a comment from a human being, or at least I think it was. And it was just like indignant about the video. It's like, how far in the video did you get that you realize it's just me blah, blah, blahing and not, this is how you do it. Although stringing a guitar isn't that hard. It's a little time consuming, but not really. It should only take a few minutes. It actually takes me longer because I'm sitting here blah, blah, blah. If I were to just get quiet and do it, it would probably take 5 minutes, maybe. Tuning it takes a little bit longer, yes, but you're always in a state of making sure it's in tune. That's why I like these guitars, the LTD guitars. All of the LTD guitars I have stay in tune pretty well. This and the Jackson from the other video, I'm going to do as E flat. Everything else, all of my other, the Hetfield and the Hammett and the King and the Hanneman are all tuned down a step and a half. So C sharp, and these I'm going to tune as E flat, because that's the majority of the time that when I started playing guitar. That's one of the first things I did. I had a guitar standard, and then I started doing everything in E flat, and I've kept it at E flat for a decade. Only in the last 5 years have I down-tuned more. I down-tuned D for a while. I really like D, and especially a lot of the songs that I listened to for years were like Sepultura was all D, Gojira was all D mostly. So that tone and that sound appealing to me. But C sharp is Slayer tuning, so I'm a giant Slayer fan. So that sound is really just resonates with me really well. So whether that's the right way to approach blah blah blah, I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody who collects guitars and enjoys trying to make music, trying to make noise with it. I don't know what you could call what I'm doing music or whatever, but it's fun. I have so much fun trying to figure out how to make things, make guitar riffs and music and things of that nature that usurps everything else. I don't have to worry about, oh no, my audience. I don't have an audience. I don't have anything like that. Very, very, very few people watch these, and that's very freeing, really. And that's that. So it's like 11 minutes from start to finish. That's because I had to oil and clean and blah, blah, blah for a while. So like I said, if I just stopped everything, focused on doing this, I could do it in 5 minutes. It used to take me a long time. It's one of those things where you just learn and you kind of figure out how to do it. But let's check the tuning. Perfectly in tune. You can't beat that.